following video block of instruction will describe how to perform TOPMIS strength projection reports.
TOPMIS is the system of record for officer management and serves as a common operating picture between the Officer Personnel Management Directorate, OPMD HRC, and human resources providers in the field, Unit G1s and S1s.
The strength projection report allows HRC account managers, assignment officers, and unit strength managers to accurately account for future known officer losses, manage valid requisitions from HRC Manning conferences, and manage known officer gains. The strength projection report is the principal tool used by field G1 S1s to produce their commander's mission essential requirements list. HRC uses this report to validate unit requirements during officer Manning conferences.
This training video will increase user proficiency and ability to analyze data in the strength projection report.
The class will be split into 4 phases. First, we'll open a strength projection report. Next, I will define the TOPMIS data fields used in the strength projection report. Then, I will analyze report results and conclude with a practical exercise.
At end state, users are equipped to account for future officer losses, manage valid requisitions, and manage known officer gains.
This class is interactive. I will vocalize the steps while performing them on TOPMIS. Let's get started. This begins phase 1. We'll first log on to TOPMIS. Find the TOPMIS icon on your computer and open the program. To open a strength projection report, select the application service icon from the toolbar. Select Strength and select Strength Projection Report. This is the Strength Projection Report home screen. This concludes phase 1. In the next phase, we'll define the data fields that are present in the Strength Projection Report. Defining the fields in the Strength Projection Report. I will define the data fields from left to right. The first data field is MPCAD and refers to the officer category. Select Commission to view results for commissioned officers, or select Warrant to view results for warrant officers. The next data field is RCODA. RCODA is a 2-digit alphanumeric code that corresponds to the major command. This same code can be found on the unit's MTO/TDA document on FMS Web. By selecting the drop-down function, the 2-digit code is paired to the description. For example, 3 Alpha stands for U.S. Army Central Command. The user can type a 2-digit code to view its description. For example, FC stands for FORCECOM. The next data field is DML, which stands for Distribution Management Level. This is a 3-digit alphanumeric code. Correlate DML with division level organizations and headquarters. For example, 10 Mike stands for 10th Mountain Division. DMSL stands for Distribution Management Sublevel. Correlate DMSL with brigade level units. Multiple DMSLs are grouped under one DML. For example, 11 Mike stands for 1st Brigade 10th Mountain Division and falls under DML 10 Mike. ARP-MAO is a 2-digit alphanumeric code that corresponds to the unit's location. For example, GS stands for Fort Stewart, Georgia. NR stands for Fort Drum, New York. The Conger data field refers to the officer's control grade. Select the drop-down function to view the descriptions for commissioned officers. For example, the TOPMIS code I5 stands for Majors. Select Warrant from the MPCAD and select the drop-down to view warrant control grades. For example, the TOPMIS code of M5 stands for Chief Warrant Officer 4. The ASCOT category stands for Assigned AOC. Use the drop-down menu to view the 2-digit AOC and their description. The sort by function drives the search being conducted. The user can sort report results by ARP-MAO or location, RCODA or major command, assigned AOC, control grade, DML, and DMSL. The group selection allows the user to display results for Army competitive category officers, AMED officers, or both using the combined selection. Next, I will discuss the projection and authorization dates. HRC utilizes projection windows that coincide with officer manning cycles. For example, Manning Cycle 1402 is the current officer manning cycle HRC is executing, with a reporting period of April through September 2014. The projected month only captures officer gains and losses through the 15th of that stated month. The projection window for these examples during this class will be set to October 14 to capture all of September 14's gains and losses. I will now run a report to define the data fields along the bottom of the screen. The authorization category displays the authorizations according to the sort by field. Because the report is sorted by control grade, the control grade category becomes the left justified field. For example, 1st Brigade 82nd Airborne Division has 1 authorization for colonel, 8 authorizations for lieutenant colonel, and so on.
The projected category displays the projected officer strength through the projected window. This number is derived from the following formula. Projected equals the current column minus the loss column plus the gain column plus the VOU column minus the P-loss column. Defining these categories will make this formula more clear.
The current category displays the officers who are currently assigned to the unit. The loss category displays the total number of officers on orders and will PCS prior to the end of the projected month. For example, 2 majors have RFOs and will PCS 1st Brigade 82nd prior to October 2014.
Double-click the number 2 to expand the loss column.
The screen will populate the officer data that makes up the number 2. The loss column indicates the report date for the officer's next assignment or gaining organization. This officer's report date is 16 May 2014. In the type column, the word orders is present, indicating that the officer has received an RFO. The on orders section is filled in, which indicates the officer's gaining unit information. For example, the first officer is on orders to DML DMSL CDT CCH, which is Cadet Command. The gain category displays the total number of officers on orders to the unit with report dates within the projected period. For example, 4 majors are scheduled to report to 1st Brigade 82nd between now and October 2014.
Double-click the number 4 to expand the gain column.
The current section displays the officer's current unit information. The loss date category indicates the report date to the new organization, and the type is listed as gain. For example, the first officer gain is an engineer major with a report date of 15 July 2014 to 1st Brigade 82nd. The acronym VOU stands for Valid, Open, Unfilled. This category displays the number of valid manning cycle requisitions that HRC will fill prior to the projected window. For example, 7 VOUs exist for majors in 1st Brigade 82nd. VOUs become gains when an individual officer is placed on assignment against a valid requisition. The projected loss category displays the total number of officers whose year-month availability to move is within the projected window. The TOPMIS code YMAV stands for year-month availability, and this code is updated by HRC assignment officers and informs units when they can expect an officer to depart. To explain further, double-click the major P losses. The YMAV column displays the year-month that the officer is projected to leave 1st Brigade 82nd. Notice the loss date mirrors the YMAV date, and the type that is listed is P-loss. Once these officers are placed on orders, they will move into the loss column. The future projected category displays VOUs that have report dates outside the projected window. For example, 2 VOUs exist for lieutenants who will report beyond October 2014. The projected gain category displays the number of officers on orders to the unit with report dates outside the projected window. For example, 1 lieutenant has orders to 1st Brigade 82nd and will report beyond October 2014. This concludes Phase 2. In the next phase, we will run a strength projection report and analyze the results. Phase 3, running routine reports and analyzing results. We will now execute various reports and analyze the results the reports produce. Because TOPMIS data is in real time, your results will differ from my screen. What is important is your ability to retrieve and evaluate the data. We will first run the Strength by Conger report. This report gives you a macro view of a unit's strength based on rank and authorizations. To run this report, enter the desired DMSL 20E, which is 20th Engineer Brigade for this example. Under the sort by function, select Conger and select ACC for group selection. Set your projection and authorization dates to 2014-10 and hit the Run button. Now we will analyze results. We will answer several questions together in order to display the analysis capability of this report. The first analysis question we will answer is, what is my projected strength through the next OPMD officer manning cycle? The projected column displays the total number of officers the unit will have at the projected date. There are 2 officer manning cycles per year. The first has an officer reporting window of October through March, and the second reporting window of April through September. Setting the projection date to October 2014 will allow the user to view the projected strength through the end of the 1402 manning cycle. Contact your HRC account manager if you are unsure what manning cycle is currently being executed. The second question is, how do I distinguish officer populations and manage promotable officers? We will use the major grade plate for this example. Double-click on Current Majors. The FSA column displays the officer's cohort year group. Select the Sort By function and select FSA. Now the results are sorted by earliest year group to latest year group. Unit strength managers can provide recommendations to senior leaders on career progression and promotion board preparation for these officers. To determine the promotable officers, select the Sort By function and select P-grade, or pay grade. Those who are promotable will have a pay grade of J5 and a control grade of I5. Officer strength management is conducted at the control grade level, and thus promotable captains are counted in the majors category. The third question is, when are officers arriving to my organization? The gain column displays all officers who are on orders with report dates that are within the projected window. Double-click the gains number. Select the Sort By function and select Loss Date. Remember, when the type is gain, the loss date indicates the report date to the gaining unit, in this case, 20th Engineer Brigade. The data is now sorted from earliest arriving officer to latest arriving officer. The user can further sort by control branch, conger, and loss date. Now the data is sorted by branch, rank, and report date. The fourth question is, how many requisitions remain unfilled and what are the projected report dates? The VOU column indicates the number of valid requisitions HRC has approved during a manning cycle. In this example, 20th Engineer Brigade has 16 open requisitions. Double-click Total VOUs. Let's learn what the data on this screen means.
The first three data fields constitute the requisition ID. The rec ID formula is ARCODA, command, ARTMAO, location, and the ID number.
For example, the rec ID for the first rec is FC GB 000000. Rec IDs are paired to all reassignment instructions. Rec IDs are important to track. All officer RFOs identify the rec ID the assignment is for. Let's pull an RFO to see the rec ID. Click the major gains, highlight an officer, select the application icon, select requisition and assignment, select assignment instruction view/print. This officer was assigned against rec ID FC GB 000000. Now return to the VOU screen. I'll describe the remaining data fields from left to right. DML DMSL refers to the unit the rec is for. Rec type is a single alpha code that designates the rec type. The most common are R, which stands for regular requisition, and G, which stands for new accession. AOC and conger is self-explanatory. The next column indicates the report date, and the last field is the control management branch, which indicates the branch who has the responsibility to fill the requisition. This last field becomes critical for branch immaterial requisitions and allows the user to see what branch will fill it. For example, this rec is an O1 alpha major, and log branch has the responsibility to fill this requisition. To view the report dates more clearly, select the sort by function and select RQRRD, or required, which is the report date on the requisition. Now the data is sorted by earliest report date to latest report date. To sort the data by AOC, select the sort by function and select ASCOC. Now the data is sorted by AOC and earliest reporting to latest reporting. The fifth question we will answer is, what are my projected losses during this manning cycle? The answer is derived from combining the data from the loss and PLOS columns. The loss column displays officers who are on orders with loss dates within the projected window. The PLOS column displays officers whose YMAV, or year-month availability to move, is within the projected window. This means the HRC assignment officer has designated this officer to move during the manning cycle, but has not been issued an RFO. Double-click the loss total. Use the sort by function to sort the data most usable for you. Let's sort it by loss date to view losses from earliest to latest. The loss date column indicates the report date to the gaining organization. This tool can be used to prioritize officer out-processing in your unit. Double-click the PLOS total. Select the sort by function, select control branch and YMAV to view the P losses by branch and from earliest to latest losses. HRC Assignment Officer YMAV comments are located in the ORD screen number 30. To view these comments, highlight the data rows, select the application icon, select ORD screen, and then select 30, YMAV. Double-click on an officer's name to view the data. This officer's YMAV is June 2014, and the assignment officer has indicated future assignment actions for this officer. To return to the original list, to retrieve another officer's YMAP comments, select File and select Retrieve. The original list will appear. Being cognizant of officer YMAPs is critical in understanding HRC assignment officer plans to move the officer. If you notice discrepancies or the command desires to change when officers leave, contact the respective HRC assignment officer and your account manager to coordinate a resolution. The last question I will address is, how do I extract data from TOPMIS? Any column, when double-clicked, can be extracted from TOPMIS by selecting the Utility function from the application menu and selecting New Excel Spreadsheet. Double-click the projected total. Select the application menu, select Utility, and select New Excel Spreadsheet. Enter the file name and destination to save the document and select Save. The data will now be available in Excel, and the user can use Excel analysis tools to pivot the data as they wish. The next report we will run is Conger by AOC. This report displays a single rank by AOC. To run this report, enter the desired DMSL, 20E, 20th Engineer Brigade for this example, and type the letter J in the Conger box. Typing J will show both qualified J2s and non-qualified J5 captains. In the sort by function, select assigned AOC, and in the group selection, select ACC. Set your projection and authorization dates to the same month. Hit the Run button and the report results will be displayed. This report allows the user to analyze a particular grade plate to capture excess, vacancies, and use to verify officer duty MOS slotting done by the field user in the eMilpo database. In TOPMIS, officers are categorized by their Control Career Management Field AOC. A officer's Career Control Management Field is located in Section 1 of the ORB or Screen 15 on the ORD screen. Double-click the projected 35 deltas. Highlight an officer. Select the Application Service icon. Select ORD and select 15, Strength Management. The assigned AOC here displays the Career Control Management Field, 35 Delta. Officer slotting in eMilpo does not update the Control Career Management Field on TOPMIS. This report is critical in identifying officers whose MTO/TDA duty MOS does not match their Control Career Management Field in TOPMIS. When you find these discrepancies, contact your account manager to update the officer's AOC to reflect the correct duty MOS. For example, if this officer has moved to a branch immaterial position in the brigade, the Unit S1 needs to contact HRC to update the Career Control Management Field. This action ensures data accuracy and increases precision when manning units and validating officer requirements during manning conferences. The last report we'll run is AOC by control grade. This report displays a single AOC by rank. To run this report, enter the desired unit. For this example, enter DML 82D for 82nd Airborne Division. In assigned AOC, type 25. Typing 25 will display all officers who are controlled by signal branch. In the sort by function, select control grade, and in the group selection, select ACC. Set your projection and authorization dates to 2014-10 and hit the Run button. This report allows the user to analyze the distribution of a singular AOC and is useful during USR when conducting 2-up, 1-down analysis. This concludes Phase 3. In the next phase, a series of practical exercises will be presented to help build your technical competence. Phase 4, Practical Exercise. For the next portion, a question will be posted on the screen. Each question is intended to increase your proficiency using the data fields along the top of the strength projection report. The question will remain on the screen for 1 minute. After 1 minute, I will perform the steps necessary to produce the data. The first question: what locations have authorizations for DMSL 20E, 20th Engineer Brigade? To answer this question, enter 20E in the DMSL field. Set the sort by function to ARP-Mayo or location and select the group selection to combined. Hit the run button. The answer is 20th Engineer Brigade has officer authorizations at Fort Benning, Fort Stewart, Fort Knox, Fort Bragg, Fort Drum, and Fort Eustis. Remember, if you do not know what the 2-digit code in the ARP-Mayo field stands for, simply type it in the field above to see its description. The second question: what DMSLs in FORSCOM contain MI majors on Fort Bragg? To run this report, enter FC for FORSCOM in the Arcota field for command. Enter NB for North Carolina Bragg in the ARP-Mayo field or location. Enter I in the Conger field for major. Enter 35 in the assigned AOC field. Set the sort by function by DMSL and set the group selection to ACC. Set your projection and authorization dates to 2014-10 and hit the run button. Following FORSCOM brigades have MI major authorizations on Fort Bragg: 108th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, 16th MP Brigade, 182, 18th Fires Brigade, Headquarters 18th Airborne Corps, 20th Engineer Brigade, 282, 382, 525 BFSB, 82nd Cab, FORSCOM Headquarters, 82nd Airborne Division, and the 82nd Sustainment Brigade. This class has covered accessing the strength projection report on TOPMIS, defined the data fields, analyzed report results, and concluded with a practical exercise. In closing, analyzing the strength projection report will allow users to accurately account for officer losses, manage validated requisitions from HRC Manning conferences, and manage known officers' gains. Mastering the strength management tool will enable your ability to inform commanders about officers in your formation and increase the effective communication between units in HRC.